What is up, everybody? Escape211 here, and we are on the test server. I am playing with the Savant 16, so we are going to see how this thing works. This is actually some footage I shot earlier. I wanted to really put this to the test to not only see how it handles damage overall, but also how it will function indoors. So I'm picking a map, Fortune Towers, a classic one that is classically bad for this type of a weapon, so I wanted to see how it performs, and generally it is done pretty well when I've played. This is one of the decent matches for it. You know, a lot of other ones I also feel I did well, where, you know, I got a decent amount of kills but a lot of assists. But the other thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, and in some ways tested within this one, is the trajectory of your actual rockets for this weapon, because that is a big part, especially when you're thinking of indoor maps, because you want to take good shots that are going to make sense instead of going all over the place. A lot of times this rocket, I think it's pretty sophisticated in how it tries to, like, you know, factor in everything. It's trying to look at your position, your target's position, the distance between you, and then all the obstacles in between you. And then, of course, if you are picking multiple targets, it's splitting all those rockets up. And it does seem like, you know, as you're closer to your targets and there's nothing in front of you and you're on the same level, kind of like that one just was, it will fire directly at it. But if it thinks that you're hiding kind of behind something, or if you're on different elevations, or even if you're using like a ramp, which typically this game has always had problems with, like ramp style elevations, it will sometimes kind of split your rockets up to go like some forward and some over top, even with a single target. So it is tricky to try and figure out exactly how all that works, and I still have not figured it out completely, but it does seem like you want to try to limit the amount of stuff between you and your targets, and then of course only have a single target if you're trying to take it out, because that tends to be the best in most cases. But yeah, that's kind of like my overall thoughts with how this feels and functions, at least in the context of that. I did try this on both sides of the map. This one I went to the other side. I feel like the first side in that first round worked a little better, but on this side too, it still performs pretty decently, I think. You can see there where I was mostly on even level with the other guys, even though there were two targets, it pretty much shot it straight at them. But this one, you know, there's some between me and one of those targets, and then straight with the other one. So yeah, I can see where it varies. And what's hard too is on this side, the best cover area, at least based on how you fight the AI, for me when I'm not using my shield, was on the ramp. So that also seems to mess the trajectory up. But yeah, I mean, all that kind of stuff said though, you have to remember you are using a guided, you know, rocket style weapon on an indoor map like this, and it performs pretty well. I mean, it still has its shortcomings, and it still has a long way for, I think, us learning how it functions overall. But this is not bad. I gotta say, I still feel like you can actually fight and defend yourself with this. I'm probably not getting ideal damage with a 16 energy weapon here, just because, well, like in that kind of instance, you're not getting all your rockets, as you can see. Pretty much none of those actually landed. But yeah, like in that one, when you do full shots, you can kill targets. So I do think that the 16 will be viable for taking out targets. It does, you know, pretty much require you to use everything. But if it's splitting up your targets, or if you're going to miss shots like I'm doing right there, it's going to be hard to hit stuff. And yeah, this is a less than ideal map for this whole situation. And yeah, this guy takes me out. So unfortunate there. But, you know, I do think that gives you an idea. I definitely think this weapon is going to be worth use for a lot of people. Again, I don't think it's going to take the top spot on some other weapons. Terrible shot there. I'm just looking back at this. That was really bad. But this is one that I think will find a home for a lot of people. Still seems very effective, generally speaking. But yeah, you guys can let me know what you think. Do you think this is a weapon you're going to use? Or do you think you will be using it in this kind of case, like indoors? Or are you just going to stick with probably more straightforward meta weapons? Interested to hear your thoughts. Feel free to comment below, and we'll see you out there on the battlefield.